The garden had always been Bill's pride and joy, a meticulously tended sanctuary of blooming flowers and carefully pruned shrubs. But on that fateful autumn morning, he discovered something far more precious than his prized roses. A weathered old cat, fur-matted, cautiously watching him. Days turned into weeks as the cat, whom Bill began calling Joe, made the garden his daytime haven. Each evening, Joe would retreat to the veranda, his golden eyes following Bill's movements through the windows. Gradually, the cautious distance between them shrank until one day Joe brushed against Bill's leg with a rusty purr that spoke of years spent without human touch. Their routine evolved naturally, like a dance choreographed by time and trust. Every morning, Joe would wait by the garden gate, accompanying Bill as he checked his plants, then trailing behind as Bill walked his daughter to the school bus stop. The neighborhood grew accustomed to the sight, a man, a child, and their faithful feline guardian. When winter's first frost painted the garden silver, Bill's heart couldn't bear the thought of Joe sleeping in the cold. He built a snug shelter insulated with old blankets, but as temperatures plummeted further, Joe was invited inside. The old cat stepped through the doorway as if crossing a threshold between his past life and future happiness. Then came the darkness of Joe's disappearance. 7 days of silence stretched like years, each morning emptier than the last. Bill searched every alley and called every shelter, realizing with growing despair how deeply this stray cat had embedded himself in their family's heart. The garden, once a source of joy, became a painful reminder of absence. 3 weeks later, a familiar shadow appeared at the gate. Joe had returned, but he was battle-scarred and limping, his fur caked with mud and his spirit dimmed. The vet's verdict was gentle but firm. Joe was elderly, vulnerable, and needed protection. In that moment, Bill made the decision that perhaps had been inevitable since that first morning in the garden. Today, 3 years later, Joe reigns as king of his indoor domain. His battle scars have healed, replaced by the softness of a cat who knows he's home. He still watches the garden through the windows, but now from the comfort of a warm windowsill, secure in the knowledge that his wandering days are behind him. In saving Joe, Bill discovered that sometimes the most beautiful things in a garden aren't the flowers, they're the strays who find their way home.